You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have an interview for all of our listeners. And just like we always do, we always try to bring the best of the best. And this, we have a music artist all the way from Europe. She's doing this from Europe, so big shout out to our special guest today, who is Patricia. She's going by Patricia Music. You can follow her on Instagram. You can find her on Facebook. And we're going to learn all about her music journey, from songwriting to everything, piano, teaching, everything. So without further ado, Patricia, how are you doing today?
I am fine, thank you. Waiting for a proper spring to come out in Europe, because April is a little changeable month. It's raining today, a little bit low air pressure. I'm a little bit meteopathic person, but coffee helps me a lot.
It's funny because it's raining right here in San Antonio, Texas, so we have that in common. So it's a rainy day today. But when it comes to you, before we get into your music, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, especially where you're from. It's going to be interesting to learn about your culture and how your community is and how music scene is over there. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
All right. I am from Poland originally. My roots are from this country. So my first language is Polish. But I've traveled for a few years abroad in different countries in Europe. Once I've been to America as well. And I've stayed a few years in Asian country. So different kind of places and different kind of cultures, and that I've managed to get familiar with. That's why I like to, in a big summary, put some interesting aspects of a few cultures that I've managed to see and experience. Asian, European, and also Polish culture, because it's a beautiful culture and it's important, in my opinion, just to have your own identification. In the same time with being open to another cultures, to more to wider aspects. Because then you feel better if you have your identity. In a big summary.
And you're a vocal arranger, and you do music, you do teaching. What kind of style music drew you to start music yourself? What kind of music inspired you, as far as that you enjoyed listening to, before you decided this is something that I want to do myself?
Right. Actually, the first type of music that I've listened and I liked, it was classical music in music school, like Polish composer Chopin. The name of the main airport in Poland, is dedicated to Chopin, by the way. If you've ever traveled to Poland or the future, you will be considering it. Inviting, of course, Chopin and foreign composers as well, as I remember Bach, Beethoven, Liszt, and many, many more. So this is how it started, and many, many more types of music later on. Jazz, recently, and pop, soul, even hard rock songs, because my brother actually is a musician as well, and he has a hard rock band. So sometimes I'm listening hard rock songs as well, but not too many, because it's a bit tiring for me.
And when you started your own journey in music, what was the kind of style that you were trying to create when you first got started?
Actually, also some American singers that I really loved as a teenager. Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey was one of my favorite singers. I still have cassettes, these classical cassettes, when MP3s were not able
Right.
in the market, and this explosion of internet websites and social medias. So, uh, regarding to style of music, I was thinking actually if my music should be like entertaining pop music, or maybe I should mix it with classical music, because piano, the instrument that I love to play, and I chose it as a first instrument in music school, also because my fingers were having pain when I was playing guitar. That was the reason I've chosen jazz piano, and it's a classical instrument. So regarding to the style of singing and playing instruments that I'm using in arranging songs, I was thinking to mix this pop style with some classical elements, like melodious elements, and maybe not this much entertaining in a common sense, like mass media sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And once again, we're talking to Patricia Music. Definitely check it out on Facebook and also on Instagram. And we learn all about her and her life story in the music world as a creative artist. And it's something I've been talking to a lot of artists lately, and that is the fact that everyone around the world has been dealing with COVID-19 and the pandemic. You as a creative person, how have you adjusted to the times that we're living in right now, where we're doing things totally different than we used to pre-COVID? How have you adjusted so far as staying creative and pursuing your passion?
All right. You know, when this worldwide event started last year, it just came out that I'm ready to record and arrange and master my compositions. Just 3 weeks earlier, in March, I still remember it from last year. I've recorded my first song without the help of outside studio. And before that, I remember I was also calling some studios and still asking for some timings. And when I've managed to do it by myself, around 3 weeks later in March, I've discovered this information media that said about this virus that is spreading out in a lot of places. Some changes also with my work as a teacher came out as well. So yeah, I had to sign up for another school, actually. Some companies were reducing English language courses because of reducing costs. Yes. Of their general structure. But in the free time, after doing the job, I've started to record these songs. I've bought equipment earlier, like microphone, professional speakers. So, it's a little bit funny from the point of view that it looks like virus situation could motivate me to finally, focus and try to record songs by myself and to master by myself. But it was just by accident, because I was, as I've said before, 3 weeks before virus started, I've managed to record my first song and was checking the arrangements in the program, music program, what is good, what is worse. And finally I've done it. Also 2 music videos, managed to do it by myself later on. And it took some time, as we were talking before. Making video is, of course, another job. So it was actually a good timing for me, in a way that I had things to do to develop myself professionally. So this is it.
What advice do you give to the young creatives out there?
First of all, it's good to do things that you feel, a person feel. First of all, just to sit down or lay down and to reflect. What is really, what is the thing that I want to do? Is it singing? Is it making videos, or is it playing football or whatever in a field, right? Because sometimes we have some hobbies that we treat it just as a hobby for different reasons. Maybe because in school we didn't have proper preparation for developing us, personally. Different types of public schools. Actually, I was going to public school, public music school, primary school, and composing is taught in music school, public music school. I mean, it used to be. There are some changes nowadays. That's good. I'm a teacher as well, so I know something about it. But composing was taught in secondary school, and as far as I know, in the last years, when a child that is able to compose songs when he or she is small, and he or she is being taught just to practice technically classical songs, like I used to be taught. That's why my decision was not to continue playing piano in secondary school. So this is very important to being taught to teach our children and discover their abilities as early as possible. So later they can develop their hobbies, their passion, maybe a little earlier than it is in situations when that they are trying to find their way as well to earn, from their job. Yeah, so this is, I think my advice, just to go to good schools as children.
And take up as much as you can, because I like what you said about the creative arts is a tool to help them discover their strengths and their potential. And that is something, as an educator, because you mentioned that you're a teacher as well. Before we let you go, what is some of the things that keep you motivated and inspired to keep pushing yourself to create your art?
There are a few things that keep me motivated. First of them, it is feedback from another people. This is a natural thing in every kind of activity. What we do for something, for somebody. So the same thing about doing music. I'm reminding myself of some really supportive feedbacks, especially from live concerts, because they're so different than digital broadcasts very often. There are, of course, nice comments and nice feedbacks online as well. 1,000 years, technology to be the same or very close to live performances, yes, or broadcasting, any kind. Right, and everybody knows how it is with music nowadays. A lot of music is for free, yes, in some platforms. That's why people sometimes they don't appreciate it. Yes, they are listening to digital concerts and not commenting it at all, even if they like it. So this is reality. Of course, I'm a musician, so it happens to me as well. But I'm really grateful that I've managed to play several of live concerts. So this keeps me motivated. The feedback from real audience that is able to express their feelings, because this is another subject. Yeah, some people are reserved. And this keeps me motivated a lot. And also, music for me and art for me, it's therapeutic, let's say. It's coming good. There's a field of music like music therapy. I was thinking to be a teacher of music therapy, but not now. They have 24 hours just. We can't do everything at the same time.
Once again, we've been talking to Patricia Music. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, because you mentioned earlier in the show that you have some music videos out there that you worked hard yourself on. I want to take the time to say thank you for being on I Am Refocused Radio today and sharing your story with our listeners. What's the last thing you would like to tell anyone who hears this interview?
You are welcome to listen to my compositions. Hopefully, it will make you feel good, especially these of you that feel bad or having some depression. Because let's face it, Yes, some people who were losing their jobs and don't have alternative jobs because of COVID-19. They are not in a very good situation at the moment. So I hope that my music can help this type of audience. And you are welcome to listen to my songs on my Facebook, Instagram website, Patricia Patrise. And let's support each other. This is even more important nowadays than 1 year ago. So this is what I want to tell.
You heard it here on Iron Focus Radio, talking to Patricia, and all the way from Europe. If I can remind you all, this is pretty cool. We can do a technology from United States to Europe. Right here, it's raining here, it's raining over there, but we had a good time talking about music and also about your life story. I'd like to say thank you for being on the show today. And like I said, follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram act name is Patricia Patrise Music. And you also find her on Facebook and YouTube. So check it out. Find out what she's doing. Catch up with her and support. Like she said, we all should support each other because that's always important. Like we say on every single show on I Focus Radio, keep God first. Stay focused, and peace. Hey, it's Shemai Reed with I Am Refocus Radio. Make sure you go to IamRefocusRadio.com to listen to today's episode. Once again, like we always say, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.